My name is Don Cunningham, and my wife and I live in Windsong Villas, part of the Good Samaritan system. It's independent living apartments, and it's primarily elderly population of people 80 and over, with the exception of my wife, and she's in her 70s. And
in Prescott Valley, Arizona.
In Prescott Valley, right, in Arizona.
Which is where we are now.
And I have complex medical problems. Mm-hmm. I've had a doctor tell me that I should have died years ago, but with the care I get from my wife and a good team of doctors and the medical advancement, he said that's why I've lived as long as I have. Mm-hmm. And some of my conditions are diabetes, high blood pressure, bad heart with bad valves, and bad back, and
kidney failure?
Kidney failure.
Really?
And
dialysis yet?
It's a
or?
whole list. No, I'm one step from dialysis. So
tell me what happens with the QRS.
I've been very blessed with my wife, and like I said, with the team of doctors I have. But recently, my wife and I were rear-ended, and we got whiplash, and I got a compression fracture of my T12 in my back. So I've had my Quantron for a few years, but I had it set aside in a closet.
2004, right? What year?
Well, I bought it in 04, and it worked well.
Moved twice?
What was that?
We moved twice, so we kind of lost.
Yeah, we moved twice.
We moved twice, so we kind of lost track of it.
Yeah.
Right.
So after learning I had the fracture, I took out the Quantron and began using it. And I keep daily track of my blood pressure 4 times a day. And it usually has run anywhere from 160 to 150 most of the time. And I started on the Quantron and used it for a little over a month. I was feeling better in my back, and being an older model Quantron, it stopped working, and I didn't realize it was probably a fuse, so I decided, after talking with the doctor, that I should upgrade to the newer Quantron, which I have. But it was interesting in keeping track of my blood pressure. When the Quantron broke down, I was looking back at my records. Mm-hmm. And a couple days after I started using the Quantron, my blood pressure was down from 140 to 130. And it remained almost consistently that way. There were times that I didn't use the Quantron twice a day like I probably should have. Mm-hmm. And so there were 3 or 4 days where it, on one of the measurements, it was around 150. And I didn't realize that this was happening, other than that I was feeling better. I wasn't as sleepy. And I looked at my notes, and I found that here it was, 130 to 140. And so I waited anxiously to get my new Quantron. Mm-hmm. And I just got the new one yesterday. And the time between when the old one retired itself and I got the new one, my blood pressure had begun to go up to the 150s and the 160s again. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to see how it goes now with the new Quantron, I'm sure with the pattern that was established when I used it regularly, or mostly regularly, I'm sure I'm going to see that same pattern of my blood pressure going down into the 130s and 120s. So I'm pretty excited about getting the new Quantron.
And were you on high blood pressure medication?
Yes, I had one of the medicines just this past week. The doctor told me I could go off one of my blood pressure medicines.
Because your blood pressure had been so much better.
It was making me sleepy and tired, and so it was a blessing, and I'm sure part of it refers or occurred because of using the Quantron.
Right.
And I might also say that I mentioned this in passing to the doctor, and he didn't, I mentioned that my blood pressure had gone down, and he said, is it all right if I take a video of you?
Ah.
And I said, sure. Basically, what I'm saying was unsolicited.
Oh, okay.
And so there's nothing being exchanged.
Right. I'm not paying you for this.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
it's truthful and
it's
legitimate.
strictly my experience, and I wanted to share it with the doctor and with whoever might be looking at it.
Yes, we have heard of this. What do you think of the build between the new system and the old one? Does it seem much sturdier?
It's hard to say because, like I say, the new one just arrived.
Okay, you haven't had that long.
I haven't had it long enough, but I am using it twice a day.
Okay.
And I'm going between the mat and the pillow.
Right.
And eventually on the other spots I'll be using the pen for more specific locations. So my experience has been a good one.
Yes, thank you. And in the future we'll find out about, I mean, are you on insulin, or what are you taking for your diabetes?
I'm on one dose of Lantus insulin.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, keep a record of using that regularly. And
well, I maintain very close records because the doctors expect me to check my diabetes 4 times a day.
Wow.
And my high blood pressure. So
did you notice with the old system improvements at all with your medication, your diabetes, sugar levels?
It's hard to say because my diabetes is something that jumps up and down. I have to keep close track of it, and a lot depends on the kitchen, but of course my wife has outlined my diet and keeps that under control.
Okay.
But right now my diabetes, let's see, what was the readings on it?
Oh, sugar levels?
Well, they've fluctuated, so I can't really comment on the mat and its effectiveness for diabetes.
But he's fallen asleep on the mat, and he's not one that's good for napping usually.
Really?
But he's gotten so relaxed on it that occasionally he's fallen asleep on top of it.
It is a pleasant,
Which
a pleasant energy
Yeah,
field.
I hadn't.
Very comforting.
Yeah, I hadn't mentioned that. So.
Okay. Yeah, do watch your kidney function. I've heard of people that improving, and also sugar
I
levels.
get the reading on it about every 4 months when I see my kidney specialist. I get my blood tested, and
so we haven't got that yet.
Blood and urine. So
yeah, get back on.
I haven't seen her. I'll be seeing her in about a month, I believe. And
so we'll see what a month on the system does.
Yeah.
I've seen it improve, and then your wife will start using it for the fibromyalgia.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. My wife is one that isn't into pills and stuff.
Okay.
And she struggled with her fibromyalgia. And
But has never used the QRS.
Seeing the results.
Even having
that I'm
one and has not used the QRS.
She
I'm like,
has never used the Quantron, but I think with the improvement I'm seeing, that we're going to see her
start using it.
treating for fibromyalgia on it. We'll see how
See what happens.
that one turns out.
Yeah.
So, but I feel very positive about it, especially with the blood pressure.
Okay. I'll be back in 6 months for another update.
Okay. It's a good way to check up on her.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Have a great day tomorrow with your conference. And
Okay. Appreciate
it's
it.
a pleasure meeting you personally.
You too. Thank you.
All set?
Yeah, go ahead. Don Cunningham again.
This is Don Cunningham again. We had another thought that we felt was important for folks to know. I have a pacemaker and have very serious lower back problems, plus the break or
Compression
fracture. And I was concerned about the use or not being able to use
The QRS. The QRS, Quantron?
uh,
The QRS, Quantron? The Quantron?
no, well, I was concerned I can't use the, what's the name
Oh,
of that?
the TENS unit.
Oh, the
I
TENS.
can't use TENS units
Really?
because of my pacemaker.
Really?
And so before ordering the replacement for my old one, which had been cleared, I called Medtronics, the maker of my pacemaker, and they assured me that as long as it was below the one
Gauss?
Gauss.
Gauss. 1 Gauss.
1 Gauss, I have trouble
Gauss.
remembering the word Gauss, but as long as it was below 1 Gauss or below, it was safe to use it, but it's best to not place it directly over the pacemaker.
Okay.
So they suggested that I use it on my back and from my lower ribs down.
Right.
So
So 1 Gauss was their cutoff.
one Gauss is the cutoff for my pacemaker.
Okay.
And,
Good to know.
So that's another little insight, and I would suggest if you have a pacemaker, you contact your own the manufacturer of your own and double check with them. But like I said, with the particular Medtronic that I have, it's safe to use it.
Good. Good info. Thank you again.
Okay, thank you,
Bye.
and enjoy your time.